Hey guys, thanks for joining me once again for this is day 3 of our 12 days of cybersecurity. I almost forgot how many days there were. Today I want to talk about passwords because passwords. Passwords are a big thing. They're hard to remember, and the easier you make them to remember, the easier they are for hackers to guess. And so what we really need to do is we really need to make complex passwords, really complex passwords. I mean, here's a statistic for you. If you have an 8-character password, regardless if it has numbers, those are some of the best tips people give you. You don't want really dictionary words in the password, especially not your name or your birth date or anything that's self-identifying in your passwords. And then you also want to use numbers, letters, capitals, and lowercase, and other characters like exclamation marks. These types of passwords make it more difficult for someone to guess and for someone to crack. But did you know that an 8-character password, regardless if you have all of those extra things, the lowercase number, the lowercase letter, the capital letter, the numbers, or the other things like ampersands or exclamation marks, if it's 8 characters or less, it can be cracked in less than 1 minute. So your passwords really need to be much longer than that. I personally use a standard of 16 characters for all of my passwords, and they're crazy passwords. None of them have any words. They're all just random characters, and that makes those very difficult to crack. So how do I remember all of those? Well, I don't. I remember one password. One password opens up my one password that I have remembered, that I've made a point of remembering, opens up a password manager that I use. And the password manager contains all my other passwords. The great thing about the password manager is a good one usually incorporates into your browser. So you can actually automatically apply your username and password into a website with great ease. It's so simple. You just click on a button. You can even have them automatically fill in as soon as you visit the site. So you might be thinking, okay, so now you've got one password that you have to remember. And maybe it's not the greatest password, or even if it is a good password, if someone knows that password, they have access to everything else that you have. And yes, this is true. So that's why those password managers are, 1, encrypted, and then number 2, we use what's called multi-factor authentication. What that does is once you enter your username and password into the password manager, it then sends something usually to your mobile phone. So your mobile phone will then pop up and ask you, is this a legit login? Then you need to approve it. So that's an extra layer of security. We can also restrict the password managers to be only opened on certain networks. So we can elevate the security that way. So they are really safe alternatives to just using the same password everywhere. And that brings me to the next point. On the dark web, which is a hacker's version of the internet, they sell passwords that they found online through sites they may have hacked. So something like a Dropbox site. So you have a username and password for Dropbox, and a hacker decides to hack into Dropbox. They didn't hack into your account, but they hacked into the Dropbox servers themselves. So now they have everyone's username and password. Now that one site has been compromised, and it's not very good to use that same password on Dropbox anymore. You need to change that right away. But the problem what a lot of people have is that they're using that same password they used in Dropbox. Maybe they're using it in Outlook as well. They're using it for their Outlook account, or they're using it for Facebook. The hackers know this. So as soon as they retrieve the Dropbox password, they then try it on all the other sites that are popular. So they're going to try that same password on your Facebook account. They're going to try that same password into your Outlook account. And that's where you need to really have different passwords for every single site. And using a password manager is the best way to mitigate your risk in this respect. So we really need to have really long passwords, preferably something upwards of 16 characters, randomly generated, using a password manager. So that's it for today. Passwords. Please take them seriously. Sites are always getting hacked. Passwords are always being sold on the dark web for people to continue to hack even more and get into your accounts and steal your personal information. And you don't want that. So that's it for today. Thanks. Stay safe. Have fun.